just mess about with at his local and, you know, not as serious events. But I guess when he's traveling down to a Shockwave, he's going to take it a little seriously, trying to come home with that bread. Austin, the player, of course, is not in attendance tonight.
Yeah.
So Austin, the city, is trying to swoop in and take that win. But the rest of DFW wants to prove that we're not just Austin, the player. We have a little bit more of a lineup. So we'll see if we can hold it down here with DisqoBunny on the other side, rocking the Yoshi.
Yeah, I mean, Disco's one of those guys that, you know, he may have left a little bit to go to Pennsylvania, but Texas, the true home man. Disco's been playing for a while, and Hakii has as well. Like, this is two veterans going up against each other here in Ultimate. I don't know if they've played yet either, but this is probably going to be a hell of a match. Covering
that air dodge in the ground with the grab. Hakii just dash attacking back and forth, trying to cover the Yoshi landing. It can be a little bit difficult with Wolf's low ground speed to actually get out of the way of the big aerial drift that Yoshi has and then come back in with punishes.
It is definitely an incremental game when you're playing Wolf. You're not even going to be able to pick up those big edge guards that he can sometimes. That's one of the big things that, you know, Wolf has a lot of tools for that, even though he's not the best equipped for it. Some of the tools are good, and none of them work against Yoshi.
Oh my goodness. DisqoBunny pulling hard back, maybe expecting a fair from Hakii to... Oh my, he tried to punish that forward smash and he got clipped with the back air for it.
Ill-advised that forward smash has like almost no ending lag. It is one of the hardest smash attacks to punish in the entire game.
Smart on Hakii to not just, you know, panic and press a button to try to cover it like forward tilt, because that might have got hit by the attack by DisqoBunny, but to actually go for a setup afterwards.
That being said, when he's in the corner, he is panicking, at least so far, just the first stock. You know, things can definitely change with a guy like Hakii, who's great at making the adaptations. But so far in the corner, every time Disco approaches him, Hakii is not sticking to shield, not sticking to the defense. He wants to push back, and that's scary against Yoshi. Also scary to get put in that egg lay.
Yeah, that command grab, definitely great option off of the ledge. A lot of people will be sitting there shielding, expecting a button. Yoshi can drift so far with the forward air, for example. It's a big threat when Yoshi's come back from the ledge. Really just has good mix-up options.
And that egg is like the biggest thing to be getting off a ledge for Yoshi. I mean, sometimes he need to go to ledge because he can throw that egg and he can just smack you, but he's smacking Hakii around right now.
Yeah, Disco is getting so aggressive, but he's picking his aggressive options so carefully. He sees that Hakii's there sitting in the shield. He pulls out the, you know, shield-breaking Yoshi bomb.
And that's what you do with Yoshi all the time. That's what Yellow Rello does as well. In fact, you know, both Disco and Rel will play somewhat more reserved, you know, just try to keep control of stage and, you know, do what they can to keep the game in their favor. But once they get that hit, man, they start rolling, and that's where the danger comes. And especially if you overextend against a Yoshi, oh boy, you're going to hurt.
Get the attack cancel out of the spot dodge, or, you know, the spot dodge cancel. Really get some good damage.
Good stuff on the defensive side here by Disco. I mean, you can see that he's throwing out a lot of moves, but he's not committing. He's not going towards Hakii. I mean, when he's throwing these down airs, he's throwing them up, trying to catch Hakii jumping towards him, and when he doesn't, he just floats away, takes control of stage. Like you said, when Wolf, you know, has to try to approach that Yoshi who's in the air, Wolf doesn't have the great ground speed. He's got to take to the air to do it.
Right, and air-to-airing against Yoshi is a terrifying prospect.
Yeah,
Wolf has really good buttons, but a lot of his better air-to-air buttons take some more time to set up, like back air.
Yeah, it's a slow game, like you said, for Wolf up against Yoshi, and Hakii needs to make the quick stuff happen. Finds when they're off stage. Like you said, air-to-air can happen.
Yeah, when you're able to set up that back air, when you're able to call that movement with the egg, get some good dividends. Kill him at 80%, not even with the sweet spot, but deep out there on the ledge, that'll happen. Hakii, though, sitting at a very unhealthy percent, 118. His back air drag down could set up something nice for Yoshi here, but DisqoBunny taking some mad damage.
He's trying to find that drag down back air. Well called.
Does he
have... But that being said, my goodness, Hakii off stage so aggressive.
It was a miracle that DisqoBunny was able to avoid that back air that could have sealed it for Hakii. He is playing with all the momentum in the world right now. That parry, he didn't realize that he had the cross-up situation, so he wasn't able to find the punish. Nair, though, sets up off stage. Hakii gets beat by the egg.
Goes for the Firewolf. That's a risky recovery. A risky move thrown out by Disco as well, and that Nair out of shield working well, but can he keep Hakii in that corner, close out the stock? We've seen Hakii's been calling out the big high double jumps from Disco here later in this game, and that could be what ends up sealing out the stock, but right back to neutral game.
I like that right now, not there, but trying to air again, set up time with the back air. The Yoshi forward air came out a little bit too slow in that instance. and Hakii from behind was able to keep it clean. Both players, for the most part, were keeping it pretty composed until the end, where you saw Disco started to crack. He started charging an up smash on the other side, maybe expecting a jump in. But there was more moments in that last bit where Disco started to hit buttons first than Hakii did.
Yeah, and I think that was the important part, because like you said, a wolf trying to approach a Yoshi is going to result in a dead wolf. Yoshi has the better air-to-air speed and can put on a lot of damage, and especially once you're off stage, Yoshi has so many tools to stay out there for a long time, make you hurt. And so, Hakii, realizing that, just decides to play that center stage game, let Disco come to him because he realized he was getting antsy. Like you said, Disco starts thinking, I need to close out the stock, and Hakii realizes if I just get 1 or 2 good combos and eventually just land this solid back air, I take game 1, and Disco is on the back foot.
And the big thing, both characters have phenomenal airspeed. Both characters have pretty fast aerial attacks. The difference is Yoshi has better lingering aerial attacks to like take better advantage of the airspeed. Like the down air in particular is really difficult to deal with as Wolf at times. Whereas his nair, if he hits you with a late nair, sometimes it's not even going to be as beneficial.
I mean, like, we've seen it a lot from Disco, actually, that down air, especially in that second stock in game 1, you know, on Pokemon Stadium, where Disco was throwing out that down air way above Hakii, trying to catch him, jumping and punishing him for doing, like, anything that's not punishable. And then when he misses, he just floats all the way to the side and makes Hakii come to him if he wants to get something off of that. And so far, that hasn't happened. What has been happening is that Disco gets a little bit too impatient, wants to get that hit, and commits a little bit too hard.
There we go. See if he's able to maintain patience. If he's got a lead here in this game, he's starting off pretty strongly, trying to catch the Wolf Flash, but goes for forward smash instead of maybe a down smash would have been a better option.
I know what Disco is looking for, which is that he was looking for Hakii to mess up his recovery, trying to go too quickly and get on stage, but Hakii's a high-level player. He's not going to miss that.
I never want to bet on somebody missing. I'd rather bet on, like, down smash will still hit if they miss it, but you're also going for the low option.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, especially against Hakii, he's not going to miss that angle. This is a high-level player, and he's trying to get Disco down to the bottom floor, the basement.
That Disco barely escaped with his life.
Man, Disco's not getting a good read on the recovery patterns. I think he needs a little bit more Wolf experience, in my opinion, just because he's missing a lot of these Hakii areas where he's just, especially on the recoveries, right, having struggles. He's catching him on stage in the neutral and getting those kills just off of a whiff punish. Now on the platform, you know, we know that Yoshi is solid for the juggling game, and Wolf can sometimes have trouble landing.
Hakii's starting to pick up on some of Disco's more habitual defensive options, waiting out these spot dodges. Oh my goodness.
Back hit.
That's crazy. Disco definitely thought he would have the drift to escape that.
Now let's see if Hakii has the drift. Wow, doesn't even need to drift. He just aggressively presses a button out of that. But Disco with that forward smash. This time, like you said, going for that down smash, trying to catch the ledge, but it is precise timing to get that, man.
Yeah, not even sure if that one actually, like, will be able to two-frame recovery like Firewolf, but worth a shot.
Ooh, yeah, Disco really trying to get those 2 frames, man. Doesn't want to go off stage against the Wolf. That's because Hakii's been doing a good job of mixing up the recovery, but they're betting on him missing. He saw that he was at a good angle to throw out that forward smash, and does even up the stock count, but it's a comeback that needs to happen.
Yeah, that might have been Hakii trying to just catch Disco for going for an aggressive option on the landing.
Yeah, because we saw a lot of that in that sequence where Disco was off stage going to try to hit Hakii, or at least trying to stay near the ledge, and he thought, hey, maybe 3%, but didn't find it, and doesn't find the ledge. Hakii a little bit too aggressive, and Disco is having a good time about that. He says, I'll take a W no matter what it takes.
Is this what Disco looks like on his weekend job, where he's busking out in the streets trying to put a penny in the hat? Like
anything for a penny, a nickel, a dime. I want you to put something in that hat.
Just a moment of your time. I need to... Please.
Here's my bold prediction. I think the only thing that's going to be in that hat that Disco's wearing come Game 3 is hubris.
Ooh, I don't know about hubris. I think that Disco, he knows how to clown around and have a good time, but he can ground himself pretty well.
I mean, ground himself, sure. I'm just saying he was popping off after an SD on a game that Hakii was probably looking to close out.
I think he was clowning a bit, and he knows that he was clowning a bit, and he knows that Hakii was looking to close that one out.
And hey, you know what? Power to him. That's the Disco style. That's what we know. I'm never going to fault him for that. I'm just saying he's going to be wearing a little bit of hubris. That's all. But game 3, Hakii goes back to Smashville and looking to make my prophecy come true, but it's on him to just kind of execute the same game plan that we saw in game 2 and a little bit in game 1 as well. You know, it was going his way, just had an unfortunate mistake in the end.
Dash back forward tilt caught. Hakii extended with these dash attacks. Dash attack is great for Wolf as an anti-air actually to catch these opponents drifting away.
Ooh. Speaking of drift, I mean, again, Disco's trying to catch that drift from Hakii, but once again, the jumps into the air from Disco are too telegraphed, and Hakii has been making him pay big time.
Game 1, it looks like Hakii was a little uncomfortable with Yoshi's big, range of movement. But since Game 1 ended, Game 2, and then now starting off in Game 3, Hakii has found his spots to place these aerials and to catch Disco's movement a lot better.
Yeah, especially that grounded movement. You saw that he was able to land both of those lasers. And again, I mean, like, landing lasers against Yoshi is tough. He usually catches you in the air, but catching you, missing that recovery again.
Really uncharacteristically poor recovery from Hakii there, actually.
And we saw a lot of just really good recoveries in Game 1 and in the beginning of Game 2. But all of a sudden, Hakii's having a little bit of trouble, you know, just having the discipline to just go to the ledge. Okay, I love that. The retreat there from Hakii. Waits for that downer to finish. He knows he's got plenty of time to get something started.
There we go. Nair tries to meaty cover the neutral get up, but Hakii times it well. Has Disco at the ledge. What's he going to do? Pressure with back air? Okay. Again, dash attack trying to cover the landing of Yoshi. Oof. Hakii getting ambitious.
Ooh, there's the fade-in from Disco. We haven't seen a lot of that with the down air. Oh! Nice tech from Hakii and turns it around on Disco one stock away from taking this by just having that situational awareness, neighbor.
Oh my goodness, but Disco has been hitting so many of these Yoshi bombs or making them safe. Has Hakii at such a high percent? Yoshi.
Oh, he tried to catch him jumping out of shield.
At how little Disco's looking for back air setups. Back air drag downs can set up for kills right now. Back air itself is just such a strong move, and he's not really looking for it the way he is with his other moves. He's looking for that bomber, looking for these smash attacks.
Really wants it, man. I think he was actually looking for the shield poke on that, but he's going to need a little bit more than just a shield poke. Again, Game 3, last stock now, finding it just off of that on-stage exchange, but it's the off-stage that's been a struggle for Disco so far.
Stuck at 110% at the ledge. Gotta watch out for the back air or the forward smash. He dashed just out of the range. Caught him with that drift back. Gave him the 2-inch punch.
Yeah, the fade in, man. I mean, we saw Disco start to just fade in. He wasn't doing a lot of that. He was doing a lot of just giving up a lot of space on stage and making Hakii approach him. And because, again, Wolf is slow, that was working out for him to make him... He had a lot of room to work with there, right?
If you're not